Welcome to the latest edition of the Iron Hour podcast. I'm your host Barra, joined by my usual panel. Got Max Bell to my right, Iron Army Gareth Holden to my left, and Marco over there. Looking pretty cool today, Marco.
In the distance.
All
set, yeah?
Yeah, all set. You've probably noticed, guys, we're not in our usual studio today. Producer Pete, who we've been praising for the last 3 weeks, he's only gone on bloody holiday, hasn't he? Who does he think he is? Who do you think he is, Marco?
I know, it's not good enough, but we're here today, so...
Where has he gone? Where's he gone? Anywhere nice?
I have no idea.
He's going to the south of France.
Yeah, I don't think he's gone
I'm
yet.
no longer jealous.
No, he's not going
As
yet.
he's gone to France.
I think he's working.
Same deed, actually.
So in Selby.
Do you want to tell everyone where we are?
We're at my house this week.
We are.
Needs must.
Yeah. Is that what you said when you bought the place?
Yeah, it'll do. But no, it's not quite we Know.Film, but still, it'll do a job, I'm sure.
We'll still like to thank them. Know.Film.
Oh yeah, of course.
No film. Know.Film. They're that good. It just rolls off the tongue. A big thank you to our sponsors as always. Know.Film, as we say, bit of a shame we're not in the studio, but we crack on. So I think we'll jump straight into the football then, guys. 2 weeks in a row, we've scored a goal. I mean, we're pretty big, Gareth. Can I say it? We're massive.
Massive 2 weeks in a row, yeah. We've scored a goal, but we've conceded 3. But we'll gloss over that, shall we?
I would.
Stick with the goal that we've scored. It was a nice finish by Danny Elliott. And hopefully there's more to come.
Yeah, I think he needed that.
Yeah, it's confidence boost. Yeah, definitely.
He'd had weeks of, should we say, struggling to hit the onion bag, and you just hope that, particularly if he could play well at Dorking next week, then he's not quite so depressed going into the season, because he has scored goals at the league below. Yes. Lord knows we're going to need a few next season.
Yeah, I mean, we said it was almost repetitive. I reckon in every podcast we've filmed, we have said he just needs that goal. He just needs that goal. It's fine. And now he's got it. Hopefully he kicks on.
Just in time.
Season ends in a week.
Yeah. Just in time.
I mean, I also said we wouldn't score 3 before we end. I might be wrong if we can do one at Dorking. But no, it's Danny Elliott scored a goal in the middle of the pitch up front where he belongs.
Who knew?
Square peg, square rolls. Simple, isn't it? But no, but yeah, hopefully it kicks on. Hopefully something positive against Dorking to take into a pre-season next year.
And it was a tidy finish, wasn't it, Gareth?
Yeah, nice control, nice finish. But I thought Carver played well as well.
Yes.
Up top.
You're a big fan of Carver, aren't you?
I'm a big fan of Carver. Yeah, I just like his niggliness. He just likes to just leave a foot in, leave an elbow in, leave an arm in, always talking to opposition player and just trying to get under the skin. I like that. You know what I mean? That's what I want to see.
I think the one thing that stood out for me was the space down the wings again. It is a concern for me every week. Again, I feel like we're talking over the same things, Max, but you know, I feel like we are there to be got at on the wings, which is surprising because Ogle is a fantastic fullback, so it's not. I don't think it's an issue with our fullbacks as such. It's potentially tactical. I don't know.
I think as well nowadays, scouting is so advanced. You know, it's not 30 years ago anymore. If you've got a weakness as a side, it doesn't matter what level you're at. It's so much easier to identify and exploit than it was 20 years ago. And you can have the best right back in the world, but if you've got a 2-on-1 situation, you know they're gonna get done. And I do have a lot of sympathy with fullbacks nowadays, because all of us, including us as supporters, we demand them to be an option going forward, no matter what level. You know, I want to see Ogle getting the ball and pushing down the wing, but unfortunately, we know that when we do have the ball, we're not always the best side in the world, and you lose it and you get done on the break.
I don't think that's what's happening here. I don't think it's that our fullbacks are committing at all. What I think's happening is both fullbacks are pulling in far too tight. It's not that they're advanced, it's that they're playing far too inward, far too central. We're so narrow.
But then if you haven't got any protection in front of you, then that's often the least worst option. And you know, when you can call it 4-3-3, you can call it 4-5-1, but fundamentally, if sides are getting the ball wide and they're running at your fullbacks and they've got options on the overlap and on the inside, I think that puts the fullbacks in a very difficult position.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, it's like you say, we want to see, like you said, we demand sort of Ogle goes forward. I think that's because, with me watching Ogle, I think that is his best trait, is going forward. There's no denying. I feel like it's a lot better going forward than he is as a defender. I still really like him, still really rate him, but some points in games, Ogle's our main outlet. He's our main attacking threat, which you shouldn't be saying about your right back. But I fully agree. World football. I mean, I watched Chelsea Real Madrid the other day, and
similar levels, aren't
no, but like I said, just compare it, like Max said, any level. We had Reece James and another centre half, and I forgot his name. Oh, I've completely forgot. Oh, Thiago Silva, sorry. And don't matter how many you have, if you outnumber them, Reece James got ran ragged by Vinicius Junior. Tony Kroos always doubling up. He played 5 at the back. It's just not. We are very narrow, but it's just not working.
And without going all Mike Bassett here, what a player their centre back is! What a goal that was! He just walked it through like we wasn't even there.
I must admit, I try to watch every game.
3 cheers for him.
Yeah, that is when my TV got turned on to anything but Scunthorpe. Oh my God!
What a goal!
Yeah, it was a good goal. Yeah. But like I said, I've just been speaking about. If you was in a park on your own, you could have also scored that goal. He had all the time in the world. And when he brought it down, it's a good touch. He's just. Right, okay. Literally, I didn't even say it. I just because obviously it was 2-1 anyway, 2-0 at that point anyway. I just thought, that's enough for me. And when it came up on my phone, Daniel, it's gone. Let's get it back on. No, it definitely wasn't. But really good goal. But I mean, it's all down to our own poor defending again, which is a story this year.
It's been the story the last 5 years.
Debut for Josh Robertson. We were talking about him last week on the pod when we were talking about the retained list. Good to see him get some minutes, and you spoke about niggly players, and those that are fighting for the cause. He seemed to be another one that fit that mold.
To get stuck in, put a tackle in, chase the ball down.
Chase the ball down. I saw on Twitter earlier some comments saying, bit of an early shout, but I fancy him to be one of the breakthrough.
Player of season.
No, one of the breakthrough players next season. Well, you think that 10-minute cameo?
Well,
that's true enough. Yeah. And I think the other talking point from the game was Finn Shrimpton getting subbed off. I think Dean saved him from a red there.
Yeah. I mean, like you just said with Carver, it's nice to see a little bit of feistiness, leaving one in. And I mean, ever since Shrimpton made his debut, we know he does that. We know he's got it. Same as Pugh. He's got that to his game, and I feel like, especially his so-called hometown boys, they must be as annoyed as anybody in that ground. They are. It means a lot more to them than it does other players, and you can see that. A lot of them just going through the motions, ready to leave, already on the beach. Shrimpton's not. And he takes. I feel like he takes a lot of things very personal, but he definitely would have got.
What you don't want though is players just chucking fouls about, just chucking themselves about to try and prove a point, to say, oh look, I care, right? Going over the top just to make it.
I feel that's just accumulated from a full season of just getting beat and the same thing every week. I feel like if next year, touch wood, we are around the playoffs or up there, I think he wouldn't sort of necessarily do that every game, but it's good to know he does have a little bit of bite about him.
There's been too many games this season where we've not had that at all.
Yeah,
think of the amount of games where we've just completely rolled over for sides, and you're just thinking, right, we know we're not technically as gifted as these, but try and level the playing field. Get stuck into them.
One for me, Notts County away.
Great example.
Not one
didn't physically compete.
No. Not one big tackle. Did we get a booking? If it wasn't for a good tackle. Honestly, it was probably Bilson just for kicking out a player when he wasn't meant to. I'm having a touch. But honestly, I could not stress. Notts County was so frustrated. It's exactly what we needed.
And there's another talking point from Saturday's game actually. I don't know if you two heard, but Gareth's been signing shirts, haven't you, Gareth?
Get away.
It's true. You're a celebrity.
I
have to get this in.
I genuinely didn't know.
I was just asked to sign the shirt. It was just more of a. It wasn't a like.
Look at the smile on his face.
It wasn't a case of the players have signed it. Can you sign it as well? It was just more of a wanting the fans that have been round about.
No, it wasn't. Person. It was. Oh my God! It's him off the telly box.
I've not had one yet.
There is a reason for that.
There must not have the pack.
You hear the disappointment in Marco's voice.
Yeah. There is a reason for that, Marco.
Yeah.
Unfortunately,
there's time. And I will be honest as well. The signature, I did it. My normal signature.
Oh,
that looks rubbish.
All right.
I added a few extra loops.
Yeah, you say that's the reason, but I think you've been worried about fraud.
So, I
signed my bank statement.
If you are at Dorking and you do want your shirt signing, Gareth has now bought some Sharpies and he'll sign whatever you want.
He will sign anything you want. Becky.
Whoa. This is a family podcast. We don't need to go there.
Took a turn.
Yes, it always takes a turn, doesn't it?
Debbie's coming with me, haven't she, to Dorking?
Yeah.
Nice.
She was going to come to Germany with me, actually.
She was.
Yeah. Well, we'll maybe talk about that
Maybe later on.
I don't know if you guys have done any due diligence. I did chuck one in the group chat earlier to say, last week we talked about the retained list.
Yep.
Has anyone had any thoughts on players that they would like to see us sign for next season? So I prepared a few. I hope you guys have. I did put this in the chat earlier. So one's that you haven't, have you? Nobody has, have they?
I might have one, but
Okay.
it's all right saying who would like to sign it.
So realistic
Who wants to come?
signing. Yeah, realistic signing. So I'm not talking about Messi. I'm talking about realistic signings at our level, potentially older players, younger ones coming up that you've seen play for other teams. So there's
a flight from Honduras.
I think he's retired, mate.
Do you reckon? He has retired. I think I saw a YouTube video of him when we were talking about him. He was playing six-a-side in like an indoor sort of Masters League. I still got it.
You've not explained to the.
Well, we had many Hondurans. Yeah. Oh.
How many players from Honduras have played for Scunthorpe?
So Ramon Nunez, I think he played 6 or 7 games for Scunthorpe.
Yeah, but what a 6 games.
What 6 games that was. I mean, what a player he was.
Yeah, in that Bumblebee kit. Do you remember it?
I think he might be our greatest ever player.
Oof, that's a massive That's a
He was incredible.
Are you
It's that German
I was
stuff.
going to say, what is there something stronger in there?
Oh yeah, so you'll remember last week Marco took pot shots at me, left, right and centre, said I look like something out of a German textbook, which I've been getting pelters for all week, I'd like
Still
to
my
say.
background.
So this week I am drinking a beverage from Germany called Spätzi.
No, you're not.
Not from Germany.
You went to the shop and you bought a can of Fanta and a can of Diet Coke and you went like that. It's not from Germany, it's from Gull.
So if you order Spätzi from a pub in Germany, they will just put half Coke in and half Fanta.
Well,
if you do it in Gull, you get slapped.
No, I actually did order one. And they looked. Yeah, it was not great. I had to leave.
Stella.
Spätzi, please.
we don't do
that way.
We don't do cocktails in here, son.
Anyway, just winding it back in.
Yeah,
So,
players.
So players. I've got 3 on my list.
Hell.
Okay, first one. Playing at the 6th tier already, in our division next season, ex-Scunny player, Andy Butler. I feel like we need a
Too
little
old, his legs have gone.
Yeah.
but he's playing at that 6th tier. That's all well and good saying if we're in the 4th tier, but he's playing at the 6th tier week in, week out, and he's had a really good season.
In a side who were, what, 4th bottom?
4th, 5th from bottom.
You're just saying this so you can go up to him on the academy pitch and go, Andy!
That's not
you
true.
signed Gareth's t-shirt.
It's that picture Butler's just put on in it with 6 packs out. It's funny. He's like, he could do a job at centre half, that lad. Well, yeah, he used to be quite good.
I'm telling you. So he's my first one. Second one is a left back called Blair Adams. If any of you guys can remember.
Was it York?
Him. Yes, he was at York.
Yeah.
He was also at Notts County, Coventry, and he was in Sunderland's academy.
Where's he now?
He's at South Shields.
Okay.
31 years old now. He is a South Shields lad, so I think he's probably going to want to stay there. To be
And
honest with you. But
they'll
we're
have
just,
more money than us.
we're just talking about players at that level. He's had a really good season. I think he's only missed 1 or 2 games this season. Consistently, he's played at that level now for, I don't know, last 3-4 years. He's been National League North, and obviously took a step down this season. Again, like I say, for me, I feel like if we had a decent left back and a decent right back, we've already got Ogle on the other side. I feel like we're in a good position. And then the other one for me is a complete, probably unheard of. It's a lad called Josh Walker, who's at Winston Rangers, a striker. He got 42 goals last season and 30 odd goals this season. They're obviously going for promotion. They're currently in step 5, so you're talking a few leagues down, but if they get promoted this season, they've made it to the playoffs, and obviously Scunny are going down, there's only going to be 1 league sandwich between the 2. So and I'll be honest, I think that's the kind of players we're looking at these days.
If
And also I would say I have heard that there was a little bit of interest from Scunthorpe in Josh Walker previously. I think at the start of the season,
I've never
but he
didn't come to anything.
I think financially we're not offering great money, and he's obviously got a full-time
We
job.
certainly, at the time, obviously we were maybe linked with him. I'm guessing we definitely didn't have any money at all. Was it still the Swan era?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was. Yeah,
Exactly.
And
so.
if Winterton do get promoted as well, I believe they go into the FA Trophy. That's the step at which you
correct.
go from the Vars to the Trophy. So we could get them in a proper cup going as well.
He's, like I say, I'm not saying he's done it at step 2 year in, year out, not at all. He's a young lad, early 20s, and I feel like that's the kind of players we need to be looking at.
Yeah, I mean, in an ideal world, we'll sign all 3. But no one knows. I do feel we'll go down the experience route.
For a centre-back, I think you're thinking similar to me.
Yeah,
but you have
I
a different
think-
name.
I think Boyce will be okay.
Right.
I do think Boyce will be fine at that level.
I thought he was chucking in, what's his name?
Who was
Steve
chucking
Clark?
in? Oh, I'd love Peter Clark.
Peter Clark.
older.
Yeah.
Peter Clark, I mean, he's just turned 41. But I think he could organise any back four.
I think it
think
wouldn't
he'd be
surprise me if he's
fantastic.
still playing in the National League next
Yeah.
season.
Yeah.
The only reason I say this...
he didn't look out of place.
No, when he
in
came
that
on, he
game.
looked fine. The only
No.
reason I say this is because I've got a good friend who's an Oldham fan, and he said he wasn't even in the squad at all on Saturday, and he's fully fit. Maybe, obviously, I couldn't understand because Oldham wanted to progress.
Yeah.
But if obviously his legs are going, like you said with Butler, I think we'd maybe just get another season out of him. National League North, I think he'd give him the armband surely.
Who was that?
Clark, you give Peter Clark the armband next year. But for me, are we still doing players to sign? A striker, they're going to come down with us. I don't know if you heard it. Aaron Jarvis.
I've heard the name.
Yeah.
I've heard the name.
Cracking player.
I think I can.
South Coast Hero.
I think I can see somebody trying to hit a barn door with a banjo over there, and
but
they
what
appear
player
to
is
have missed.
Yeah, no, obviously I'm obviously joking, but I did think it's worth mentioning what a great season he's had.
Yeah.
Who could have seen that coming? Not me. That's for sure. Similar to you saying about Hackney. Aaron Jarvis, my God. I think he's had a brilliant season, and he'll still be in National League.
I liked
Yeah.
him when he were at Scunny. Genuinely liked him. And I know no one did, but I just liked him. You know what I mean? He won headers. And he just harried people.
Yeah.
And I just...
Were you two watching a different striker to the one I was?
No,
I
that's what I'm
need to
saying.
give these glasses a
No, this is
clean.
what I'm saying. I couldn't have seen him having a good season this year at any club. I genuinely didn't see anything.
Yeah.
But I mean, I didn't actively dislike him like I did Nuttall. But yeah, I think
I liked him as well, Bob.
yeah. Well,
You
that's-
I quite like
and then your
Nuttall.
opinion just gone.
Any names jumping out to you, Gareth?
Leon Waldock at Gainsborough Trinity.
Nice.
Midfielder.
They could be coming up to
They
our
could be
level.
actually, yeah. 22-year-old,
What
ex-Chef
position?
Wednesday, midfield.
Central.
Yeah.
As we're recording this on the Monday, I believe games we're playing. Is it Bamber Bridge in the
Tomorrow,
playoffs?
Tuesday.
Tomorrow. So
Tuesday night.
Is it a final or semi?
No, semi.
Semi-final. So big, massive game for
it is massive.
both of them sides.
Yeah.
What kind of player is he? Defensive? Number 8? What we're looking at?
He likes to get forward. Likes to put a tackle in.
Nice.
Good on the ball, you know, can hit a pass. But then you look at it and think, midfield. We have lots of midfielders.
I think this is, without sounding neggy, this is a kind of a sign of where we are now. We're looking at 6th, 7th, 8th tier.
And I
players,
still
aren't
think
we?
we're being speculative. I
Yeah.
really
Yeah.
do. Yeah.
Like, what's our wage budget going to be next season? What's our transfer budget going to be next season? What what players are we? There's a difference between the retain list and which players are we secretly, looking
Obviously,
to try and
I can't
maybe
talk
sell?
about. We can't talk about specifics, but we can only go off what the chairman has told us. He told us on the podcast where we did the interview.
We'd be
with him.
competitive.
He says we're going to have one of, if not his words, the best budget in the division.
Yeah.
So, all right, it's hard to know what the budgets of other teams are. So let's say let's say we're in the top 3 or 4. I don't think it's out of order to expect that we sign a left back from South Shields or a striker from.
I do.
Winterton
The South Shields one is quite funny. I do think they'll be if we are competing. I think they'll be the other team that's competing.
I
as
do
well,
agree. Yeah,
So I've heard that their budget's around 40,000.
which is ridiculous.
Which is
it's a lot.
Yeah, yeah.
It's
I was
high.
going to say 40
You'd like to hope ours is around there.
What, 40 grand a week? That's £2 million a year. Our budget will not be £2 million a year next year. No
That's
way.
what I've heard, but obviously...
If South Shields are playing that, like they get good crowds, like
they do get good crowds.
fair play to them. Our budget will not be anywhere near 40 grand a week next year. No chance.
Also, a bit of a weird one. I just googled it to confirm because I read it earlier. Kevin Phillips left South Shields last week.
Yeah, I did see that on
that's a
Saturday.
funny
It was on
one.
Saturday
Is
after the game.
the favourite for a Walsall job?
Is that what it is?
So I've also heard him mention Solihull as well. Going to
Well,
Solihull.
that doesn't make sense. so
Birmingham.
much.
He was played for Birmingham, did he?
And also,
Sunderland legend.
Also played for Sunderland,
Yeah.
which is obviously South
Yeah,
Shields.
He's obviously
the other day somebody mentioned him and Jamie Ward coming to Scunthorpe.
To play.
What, on front? They'll probably do a job in fairness. But no, as a management team, I thought, oh, that's a bit out of the ballpark.
Yeah,
It's
but
very out of the ball.
I don't think it's controversial to say that some very strange rumours appear on Scunthorpe Twitter at any given
Well,
moment.
now you've mentioned it, God, there's been some stuff flying about this week. I mean, I
just want a quiet
don't
week.
even know what's going on. I read 7 versions of the same story on Saturday night.
If Twitter tells you that the sky is blue, open the curtains and check. Like, no, I'm being serious. Like, it's, you know, as we've said earlier, we're recording this on a Monday. There's been rumours and speculation flying about that this announcement's going to happen immediately and this announcement's going to happen yesterday. Like, it was the same when Swan was owner.
Stop banging.
It's not too bad today because we'll finish.
It's me and a politician. Believe anything when it's in black and white. Like,
Well, we know that. We do know that. I think that's our point. We're seeing so much shite at the moment. So, like, honestly,
it's nothing new.
it's
15
crazy. Like I say, 7, and this is not an exaggerating or an inflation of figures here. I saw 7 versions of the same story, all detailing very different things. I'm like, what is going on?
Yeah.
But I do get it. Like, people that are scared. We've had a very tough 5 seasons. The club has had a bit of off-field stability, but once bitten, twice shy. I do genuinely understand why people are
100%.
sort of are concerned.
Anxious.
Yeah, but also, and this isn't just a thing that affects football. It's part of life now with social media, isn't it? Is that if somebody says something with enough conviction, then people believe it very, very quickly.
Yeah. Last game of the season then coming up, Dorking away on Saturday. I mean, I think I know the answer to this question, but Max, how do you see that one panning out?
Well, I don't know. I mean, Dorking are safe now, aren't they? So I suppose a Dorking win is not necessarily as cast iron as it would have been when they needed to get something out of the game. I could see it being a bit flat. It'll be a very sparse away end. It'll be.
Come on, liven it up, Max.
Bloody hell! Oh, it's the truth. This is what the away end's going to be.
Jesus Christ! I mean, I was bad 5 minutes ago, but I'm in a bad way now, buddy.
All right, then 4-4. What do you want me to say?
Yeah, great. 4-4. I can go with that. I need talking down, Marco.
Dorking down.
I need talking down.
3-0 Dorking.
Jesus. Right,
Yeah.
1 foot's over the edge. What are you saying? Pull me back.
I'm going to say we're going to score.
Yeah.
We're still going to lose.
Okay.
I go 2-1. And it's
Right.
an artificial pitch as well.
You ready for this?
Yeah, we did really well.
I'm
at
going Dorking 1, Scunthorpe United 4.
Right. We need
You're
to bottle.
full of.
We need to bottle this up. I hope you're right.
I think we win. Look, it's a law of averages.
He won't surprise. It's like Max said. I think it'll be really.
The law of averages.
God, we're well past that. What was it? We've not won in April for decades or something. My God.
Since 2022.
Right, just moving on then.
Yeah, swiftly.
Other things in the league. It's official now, Wrexham crowned champions. They beat Bournemouth 3-1 on Saturday, the late kick-off. Mullin getting 2 goals. And do you know what? I'm really annoyed at myself because I watched Ben Foster's vlog this morning and I couldn't help but smile. And I'm so angry at myself, but I was kind of like, I was a little bit happy for
What
him.
a fairy tale.
But you were happy for Ben Foster.
I know.
So sincerely,
Against my better
So
instinct.
sincerely, I not for a second do I begrudge Wrexham fans a bit of success. They've had 15 years in the National League. They bought the club themselves as a supporters trust when it was going bust. Like, massive respect. And it's not actually Wrexham's fans' fault,
No.
really. The the gushing press coverage. To be honest, I actually quite like Ryan Reynolds and Rob McElhenney. I think
I really like them.
I think they come across reasonably well.
That's what's more annoying.
Yeah.
I want to hate them.
Yeah, this is what I was saying.
I want to hate them. It's like the Ben Foster thing.
Yeah.
I really like them as people.
Yeah. And actually,
I can't stand you.
it will die down in a year or two. We had it when the class of '92 at Salford, and then after a couple of years, people get bored.
Yeah.
And once Wrexham have finished 16th in League Two, then I'm sure we'll go through.
I think we'll go up.
I do as well.
I think the train will keep going.
I'm not as massively sure because everyone said that about Salford.
Yeah, but the difference is Salford scraped up by the playoffs.
And they can bring a lot more income in with the financial fair play, just purely off revenue coming into the club. They're going to have a lot more money to spend, and look how appealing we are to play for at the moment. Yeah. So what's the Wales strike? Robson Canu. Playing League Two.
So the difference is Salford scraped up by the playoffs, and Wrexham, I won't say walked the league, because
definitely similarities.
County pushed them, but 110 points.
Yeah, there's definitely similarities, but I do think Wrexham are a little bit more appealing, a bit more obviously Hollywood.
And as well, I think League Two is an easier division to get out.
There's not much in it at all
because there's 4 teams go up.
Yeah. I mean that is itself
double chances.
But I am. For automatic promotion, there's triple chances. I am not as convinced that it's going to be a walk in the park.
It won't be a walk in the park.
Not walk in the park, but I think
we're saying we think they have a
compete,
reasonable chance.
For sure. And I mean, you want to say the bottom half of League Two and the top half of the conference, I don't think there's much in it at all.
No.
With some serious dross.
Who's winning the playoffs then? Notts County?
It's got to be. I want it to be, it's got to be.
So it has got to be, but is it going to be?
Yeah, I think
that's the thing.
And I know people say it's a lottery, and it's not a lottery. But usually, statistically, I looked at this last season, so it might be a little bit out of date, but statistically, the team who finishes higher in the league statistically gets promoted.
That's a very sweeping statement. That's
what we did.
That's not always true for all leagues, and I think actually the National League's playoff system is particularly lottery because it's more negative.
True, yeah.
You know,
well, that's
five shit minutes will kill your season.
Grimsby and Wrexham last season, it was crazy. That
was a great game.
Honestly, when I watched that game, I just thought, God, we need to sign someone who can chuck a ball really far. Well, because that's what literally won that game. I mean, Wrexham had it obviously with Tozer. Yeah. And Grimsby always had a one for, what's it called? The Desiree? That's what
Desiree.
Yeah, Desiree. He went to Halifax, didn't he?
Yes, he did.
Yeah. That long throw with it.
Good knowledge.
In a way, I hope Notts County get promoted because up to a point they've quote unquote earned it. Yeah. I'm not sure it will be though.
I do worry.
I'm always
pick one of the other 5 teams.
Barnet.
Okay.
Barnet. Good. But I do worry if Notts County don't,
sir.
I worry for them keeping them players. And I just hope.
Well, I actually, it's my off-kilter prediction for this summer is that I think the EFL are going to crack. There's already been discussions about making it 3 up and down between the National League and League Two, and I think it may happen regardless. But if Notts County don't get promoted in the playoffs, I reckon that's a slam dunk.
I think it'll happen either way.
If you're resigning League Two, who do you want? Do you want Crawley, who looks like he's going to crawl to third bottom? Or do you want Notts County?
Yeah. Right, moving on to our next section. It's the iron stat. Stop looking at my paper. The iron stat.
Have you seen how thick my glasses are? Do you think I can read your notes from here? The British government do not let me drive.
Yes.
Sorry, ladies. We're just having a bit of a domestic here.
As I was saying before.
Next week, I'll lose men.
Oh, and he is loose. Oh, God. The next section is the iron stats of the week. A big thank you to our sponsors, Know.Film. Is it Know.Film? Know.Film for you.
Not for us this week.
Thank you. Know.Film. Iron stats of the week. Right, speaking of Wrexham, you'll love this one. Wrexham have won more points this season, 110, than the Iron have won in the last 3 seasons combined.
3 seasons?
108 points in the last 3 seasons
combined.
With a game left.
Wow.
Hang on, Wrexham already got 110.
Yes.
So they could end up with 113.
Well, we could end up with 111 if we could pip them.
No.
Well, we could.
We can't get any points.
How much do you want to bet?
No, I don't want to bet. I'm already losing money.
3 seasons, nice.
If you don't laugh, you'll cry.
That's mad.
Yeah, it's not great. I mean, it's not great.
No. There's room for improvement.
There's room for improvement, and
the only way is up.
This is why we are a positive pod.
Things can only get better.
Oh, the Labour Max is coming out now. He thinks it's 1997 again, isn't he?
That's a top quality reference. There'll be 4 people watching it will get it. But
all 4 of them.
That's banging. That's banging.
Thank you. It was dreamful, you could say.
Jeez.
Thank you. Anyway, right, so moving swiftly on. Josh Robertson debuted on Saturday, and this means the Iron have now fielded 43 different players this season, equaling the record from last season. As for this one, yeah, I know, but what can you do? Our last number 5 to score at home was Murray Wallace in February 2018, and that was a 2-2 draw against Northampton. I asked for that one because how many number 5s score goals for us? How many people score goals for us? This one coming from Twitter, from Iron Stats on Twitter, this one. The Iron conceded 43 goals at home this season. This is the most since joining the Football League in 1950. And in addition to that, which he sent me, was a bonus stat. We also have lost the joint most games in the season since 1950, and that is 13. Last home game, sorry.
I was going to say, yeah. They've lost the joint.
I'll tell you what, I made a meal of that stat.
Big time.
You did. What?
You scunnied that stat.
One that jumped out at me though, you said that we've conceded 43 goals at home, and we've also...
No, I never... Yeah, sorry, yeah.
And we've also used 43 players during the course of this season.
What's your question? What's the other 43?
What side does that?
None. And I think
Scunthorpe
that's why we
United.
Yeah.
For every player we bring out onto the pitch, the gods of football are going, it's alright lads, you've already conceded.
But listen, we were a big team at scoring last minute goals. Our last injury time goal scored was Liam Feeney's against Dagenham and Redbridge in February when we won 3-2. So we do it. That's what we do. We score last minute goals.
Yeah.
We're massive.
I can't even pretend this week.
Why?
There's no excitement.
No.
What do you mean? We're huge.
There's some pretty damning stats out there, but I mean it's every week now. I think the best stat for me was last week when Ironstad said the good stats are there's only 2 games.
Well, there's only one now.
Yeah, and I think I'm just sticking with that. I can't wait for pre-season.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to pre-season.
So I might win a game.
Right, we'll move on then to our hero idiot and moment of the week. Who wants to kick us off with the hero of the week?
Easy, I'll do it.
Yeah.
So my hero, for as much as I gave Max a load of crap.
Let's try and keep this quicker.
Yeah, as much as I give him a load of crap about snooker the other week, I do still watch it occasionally.
You're a hypocrite.
I've been to one snooker match, a match in my life, and it was purely to watch Ronnie O'Sullivan.
Yeah,
I don't think there's many sports in the world where there is somebody who stands above everybody else, and there's not even an argument about who was the best player to ever play it. So for me, Ronnie O'Sullivan, this week's been brilliant again. My hero week.
You were the same person that last week said nobody would stay awake from.
If it's not Ronnie O'Sullivan, I'll be fast on.
Hero of the week, Max. You've got 30 seconds.
Steve Cammack, Scunthorpe's all-time record goal scorer. He was in the restaurant for the game, just sort of taunting us. He's the only man to have scored more than 100 league goals for Scunthorpe. Auctioned off one of his hat-trick balls. Got a hero's reception, and he deserved every second of it.
Gareth.
Just the people that have enjoyed the vlog this season.
I hate you. I actually hate you.
He will sign shirts.
Oh my god, you are the worst.
So many people came up and just
cretinous.
thanked me, and on Twitter as well, and I just thank you all for getting involved and.
You should be on a register, mate. That's where you should be.
That escalated.
Well, do you know what?
Thank you anyway.
I wanted to give the points to you until you started talking. Max gets the points. Steve Cammack is definitely the answer.
Arguing there. Legend.
Idiot of the week. I presume it's Gareth, isn't it?
Mine's just changed. No, for my idiot is I know it's similar to Gareth's, but mine is the whole of Tottenham Hotspur Football Club.
Yeah.
It is an absolute
Can
shit
we have
show.
their refunds, please?
Yeah, it's an absolute shit show, and I love it. I listen to TalkSport a lot. Obviously, I drive up for work, and it's just numerous Tottenham fans saying we're the worst run team in England. Well, people don't know how bad we've got it. Yeah.
There was 2 worse run clubs than them on the same pitch.
Obviously, and
on Saturday.
My God, they have no idea.
Yeah.
We're doing this podcast because we scored a goal. Do you know what I mean? That's the only reason we've got half a smile. And Tottenham in their £1 billion fancy new stadium with Harry Kane challenging for Champions League of the worst run team in England, I'd happily swap. I would happily become the worst run team in England. No questions asked. Tottenham Hotspur, joke.
Gareth,
I'll be
your
nice.
idiot of the week.
My idiot of the week is to do with Spurs again.
Yeah.
People saying the fans should get a refund.
Yes,
Because they lost 6-1. I'll give them a refund. I think it's been said on media, the radio, and just people in general. I'm thinking, I've watched Scunthorpe this last season.
Yeah.
Can I get a refund for my season ticket?
Oh, Scunny would be out of business.
You know what I mean?
They were offering.
I wouldn't have spent a penny.
But yeah,
They'd be out of business if they were offering similar such
just
things.
people thinking they deserve a refund. You go to football, you don't.
It's a
you
lottery.
lose, exactly. You lose 6-1. You lose 6-1. So what? Get
Some
on with
teams
it.
win.
Yeah.
So I heard.
Who are these teams? It's funny, they always seem to be the ones that play us. We always get them.
Yeah.
My idiot of the week, bit closer to home. It's Ron Martin. And for anybody who doesn't know, he's the current chairman / owner of Southend, who obviously still beat us on Saturday. But they've been a complete basket case this season. I think the players went, was it nearly 3 months without being paid?
Yeah.
Still won every week. Like the fact that Southend have come close to mounting the playoff charge this season, it's manager of the, forget Wrexham and Notts County, that's manager of the season territory for me. Even though they took 6 points of us this season, and hopefully they'll have a brighter future because they deserve it. And actually, it was good to see when the pitch invasion happened. There was no real aggro between Scunny and Southend because we've.
I think we're quite parallel to us.
There's
They can win games.
there's been too much
off the pitch.
There's been too much in common between that two clubs and fan bases. So best of luck to Southend, and I hope Martin buggers off.
Gareth gets the points. I absolutely
Do I?
you relate to that.
They
Don't
don't
deserve
have it.
anything. He's not having it. You get the points. Right. If I give it to Max goes 2
I know he
up
does.
and he's got
I
no
know he
chance, and then it's a closed shot. I agree with you on principle, but Gareth gets the points. How's that?
For those pesky Tottenham fans.
Well, because I know I'm not going to get the next point.
You might do. I just couldn't have you pulling 2 away. Moment of the week.
My moment, we've touched on it anyway. As much as I don't want it to be, it is Wrexham getting promoted. Obviously, it was all over the media, and like you said, as much as you don't want to like them, you do sort of like it. Obviously, I still hope not to kind of go up with them. But yeah, Wrexham, just the scenes and everything. It's even though I sort of bought it, I really did enjoy watching it, and like I said, I do hope we go up again next year. So.
Gareth?
Moment of the week. Probably not a lot of people saw it, but after the game on Saturday, once the people had cleared off the pitch, the Southend players and staff came back out and just applauded the fans, the Southend fans, and there was a mutual respect there, and they spent a good four minutes just applauding each other.
Just a question. Are we trying to reach out to the Southend fan base here?
Both SUFCs for YouTube. SUFC with Max O'Connell's.
Next week is Sheffield United.
Yeah. Is anyone else? Sutton, yeah.
Southend?
Yeah.
Oh, we already done
You've
that.
done Southend. Jeez.
Max?
My moment of the week is I make no bones about the fact that I missed the Southend game because I was at a wedding in Sheffield.
It seemed very similar to last week.
I don't regret it. Like if we'd still been in the running,
It's hard to be good, Jim.
If we'd still been in the running to stay up, honestly, I'd have sacked off the day do and just gone to the night do with the wedding. So I regret nothing. For me, the moment of the week is seeing my friends Christy and Alice at the end of the ceremony walking down the aisle hand in hand whilst Dreams by the Cranberries, which is an absolutely brilliant song. If anybody's not heard it, this
song, no, I think most people
I thought we were going to say up to High Hill Silver Line. Oh, like you've got my
No,
was it Christy and Alice?
Christy and Alice, yeah.
Christy and Alice.
That's the one.
Congratulations, Christy and Alice.
Absolutely, and as well, Christy's a very big Aston Villa fan.
Okay.
So that a lot of the tables were he stresses coincidentally painted claret and blue. So that was my moment of the week.
That's a touching story. But Southend related, I have to give the points to Southend at some point. So Gareth takes a 2-1 lead over Max going into the round later on, and Marco, as usual, he's at the bottom of the table.
I'll be Scunny.
Yeah, you be Scunny. So, any other talking points from this week anyone wants to touch on? There was 2 FA Cup semi-finals.
Yeah, I mean, I watched both. Well, I watched Brighton Man United, and we was on about picking players out earlier who we'd want to sign. Obviously, this isn't one we'd sign.
What, you say, I quite like that McAllister in midfield for Brighton.
No, I think
I'll tell you what, that Haaland is a bit good, isn't he?
Playing in a World Cup, no. I don't really watch a great deal of, when it's FA Cup, it's hard to get really excited for anymore. Obviously I watch Premier League, but Caicedo for Brighton, what a player he is. I don't get a chance to obviously watch much Brighton games, but this Caicedo centre mid, he dominated the game. Yeah, he won man of the match. I know there was a lot earlier on in the season when he was linked with Arsenal, wasn't he? And he got told to train with the youth team and stuff, but it looks like he's just integrated back in with De Zerbi. I watched the game and I just thought, what a player he is.
Speaking of Arsenal, do you think they've spunked it?
Yeah, I think Man City. This what they
City,
win today.
Well, Gareth won't know. You don't do Premier League football, do you?
I've been reading.
City win.
City, you're going to win the treble.
Yeah,
I know.
City win 3-0 on Wednesday. I
Do you
think
think?
comfortably. I think Arsenal have completely blown it. I want Arsenal to win. I wanted them to win, but I do think Man City, like I said the other week, we've just had that service, and it's not a dodgy one. It's a Rolls Royce. They are on the charge, and I think the treble's very doable.
Correct. Yeah, City are going to win the treble this year. That's my take now. I think it's pretty well known among sort of some of our circle of friends that I bet that Haaland wouldn't score 60 goals in all competitions. I'm losing that bet.
I'd just like to put a disclaimer out. I don't actually count Max as being in my circle of friends.
It's a difficult one.
You said ours. I just want to get that clear to anyone who's listening.
Brutal.
I'll
remember. Yeah. Don't you worry.
There'll
be a bit of chat. There'll be a bit of playback for that next week.
Oh, you've took pop shots at me all night, Max. You getting it?
Yeah, FA Cup. I think. Obviously, it's Man City, man. But when I was watching this Man United game, I was just like, these two are literally competing to who's going to get beat by Man City. So it's not. I didn't really feel bad sorry for Brighton. I was like, at least you've gone up now. You don't have to waste loads of money going back to
them.
Yeah, for as good as Brighton are, and we play some lovely stuff, it's just not.
I tell you what, De Gea had a good game, didn't he?
Which one, Sevilla?
No.
Oh.
No, it's been genuine.
Oh, you've been genuine.
Yeah,
I'm going to say a couple of days before he had an absolute stinker.
The FA Cup game.
Yeah.
Did he?
Well, I watched, but
I'm not sure he did. I thought his kicking was poor, and I thought
was poor.
I thought the curling effort to the back post. I thought he got quite lucky actually.
Did you?
It hit the wrong part of his hand.
He did. He dived the wrong way. He went with his left hand.
I hate this. Don't even start on this.
He did. It was just unorthodox. Still a great save. But I think out of the two keepers, Sanchez was the better on the day.
Sanchez did play well.
Yeah, who ridiculously hasn't been their number one this year.
And aside from football, the boxing at the weekend, probably you two won't know much about this, but Marco and I, we like a boxing, don't we?
Thought it brilliant. Loved
the Cordina fight, first of all. Did you see
I
any
didn't
of
watch the Cordina fight, no. The only thing that got me really excited this weekend was obviously
and Garcia.
Davis Garcia. I mean, I must admit, I thought Garcia was going to win.
Yeah, I had Garcia to win,
but
he was the underdog. Yeah, but I did think I
don't think there's any quick hands in boxing. Yeah. But I mean, if you haven't watched it, even if you don't like boxing,
I don't want to say
Gareth, have you been up to anything exciting?
Put it this way.
I feel like we're spare parts.
Put it this way. If you don't know Garcia, his ribs are broken.
Yeah, I don't want to say he's quit because I hate it when people say that.
No.
But basically, what's happened is he's taken a shot to the body, and it is a powerful shot.
It's huge.
But he hasn't gone down immediately, so he's kind of thrown a few lazy punches, 2 or 3 after that, and then maybe 3-4 seconds after the punch has landed on him, he's then taken a knee. It's an expression we use. Taking a knee is literally where a boxer will drop down to a knee, and usually what will happen is they'll take a count to 8, which is the mandatory count, then they'll get to 8 and they'll stand up. It's just to give them a breather. They will obviously lose the round when they take a knee.
Yeah.
So the referee's counting, he gets to 7, he gets to 8. Garcia looks like he's about to get up, and then he thinks twice and just takes the count. And as soon as the referee gets to 10, he then stands up and walks to his corner. I think he broke his ribs.
He definitely had.
I do not think
it was an awful shot. He's not a quitter. You watch all his past fights. He's not a quitter at all. It's just he's been beaten by a better opponent. on the day.
What a shot! But didn't it?
Hopefully it's a
at
rematch.
first
Not
glance,
many
the
fans say
shot
that.
didn't seem like too powerful. It was
No.
only on the replay when I thought, oh, that was a shot.
Yeah, he's dead.
He's not
But
dead.
yeah. But no, yeah, it was. It wasn't. I sort of hope it didn't happen because I wanted it to go over distance because I just wanted to watch two really good boxers go at it. But yeah, it got stopped a bit early, but fair play.
And then coming up this Saturday, obviously, you know, it's going to be away at Dorking, but I'm hoping to go watch Winterton Rangers away. So as I mentioned earlier, it's their effectively a playoff final game. As we spoke about on previous podcasts, it's the European style playoff, so they're playing a team from the step above, and effectively
Do we know who yet? Has it been
they don't
confirmed?
know who.
No.
There's still a round of fixtures on Wednesday. It's looking like it's the most likely candidate at the moment is Glossop, which is. Did you know that's in Derbyshire?
I never heard
near
of Glossop.
Manchester. I did not know that. I had a little look earlier.
So how do they decide who's home
it
and away
won't
for
be
that
a
fixture?
direct swap for. So if they beat Glossop, it won't be that they'll take Glossop's place. It's that they then redraw the boundaries
Yeah.
with.
How do they
teams.
know who's home and away for that fixture?
There is no home and away. It's
neutral
a
venue.
one. No, sorry, it's
Ah.
one tie. Bizarrely, at the team who are in the higher division, so it'll be at Glossop if it's Glossop.
Right. Okay.
Which is frustrating that the.
But I believe it's Glossop North End. I think for years, was it until Forest Green got promoted?
Yeah.
They were the smallest ever town to have had a football league team.
Right.
That's my one piece of
There
gossip.
you go,
to
yeah.
give you.
So I'll
Bit of
be.
gossip.
Yeah.
Hey. I prefer that to the boxing chat.
So I'll be
At
going
least
to
it's not
that.
German football.
Oh God, don't get him started.
I'll be going to that.
Please don't.
No. I'll be going to the Winston game.
That's fine. That's better than German football.
Ex-Scunny player Lee Ridley plays centre back these days.
Yeah.
Stalwart for them. I think Steve Ridley plays midfield, and a good friend of mine, Paul Grimes, also plays in midfield. He'll be playing on Saturday, so it is my best intent to go and support them on Saturday, and I hope they win.
Yeah.
Obviously,
Good
if they do go up, as I say, that will take them to step 4.
Yeah.
Bear in mind, next season we are going to be playing in step 2.
Yeah.
Like, incredible.
Scary.
So
Well, good luck.
From all of us on the
Yeah,
pod, if we could
yeah.
like to wish Winston Rangers the
Definitely.
best of luck,
Yeah.
and massive congratulations and well done to the 100 odd fans who'll be going over to wherever it will be on Saturday. Fair play to you guys. I think even Brig Town are taking a bus over to support Winston, so I love that.
Yeah.
Local teams get
Definitely.
behind local teams, that's fantastic. I think that's it for that chat. We can move on to the quiz if we want, guys.
Yeah.
The real drama.
I can't win here, can I?
This was the same
You
last
could- You
week.
could be a spoiler, which is what
You could be a
like
spoiler.
I do like being.
Would you like your question first?
Yeah, go on.
Yeah. Okay. So what I've done this week is I've given you all questions in your, what I would say are your specialist subjects.
being. Oh Jesus!
I can't wait.
So
Marco, we've got a topic. Does pineapple belong on pizza?
so Marco, your question
On penis
is
length.
just
is
you want to hear what Max is on. It's on a very special register. Anyway, I'm very Marco. No. Sorry, don't disrupt me. I must keep going. Marco.
Yeah, indeed.
Which Welsh footballer said, "I couldn't settle in Italy. It was like living in a foreign country."
Welsh football.
Yeah, I can give you multiple choice if you would like.
I
them.
would
Oh,
like
no,
multiple
don't
choice.
do that.
I think this is before my era.
Well, I couldn't possibly
Welsh
say.
footballer.
So which Welsh footballer said, "I couldn't settle in Italy. It was like living in a foreign country"? Would you like multiple choice?
I need multiple choice here.
Okay, so your choices are Aaron Ramsey, Dean Saunders,
I'm pretending I'm that bloke
Yeah.
on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire.
Chris Coleman, or Ian Rush.
After listening to Dean Saunders on Talksport every morning, I'm going to go Dean Saunders.
Max, would you like to correct him?
Yeah, it's Ian Rush.
Oh,
It is
for
Ian
God's
Rush.
sake.
I believe he played for Juventus.
Yes. So Marco finishes on 2 points.
Up the iron.
Where
Right.
did you get 2 points from?
No,
0 points.
No points.
Why did I say that?
I'll take the 2.
0 points. I'll tell you what. This is back of a fag packet stuff. This podcast, isn't it?
Nil play.
This is back of a fag packet stuff. We're chancing it, aren't we?
Don't include me on the fact that you can't count to 0.
Oh,
We need to get Pete
I
back.
hate you, Max.
I think that's become apparent in the last 5 years.
Right, Max, it's your chance to pull level. Your chosen subject is 2 things you love: football and politics.
Okay. I do often also hate them on a daily basis.
Oh, and also the third thing you love, Margaret Thatcher, of course. Which club made Margaret?
Right. No. We're not leaving. We're not leaving.
What? You told me earlier that she was your hear me out.
No.
Did Max earlier say that Margaret Thatcher was his hear me out?
Off air, you said.
Would I?
Sorry, Kat, but yeah, he did.
I don't think I did.
What's
Anyway,
the question?
You can see Pinocchio's nose coming out further and further.
what is this?
Talking about Margaret Thatcher.
I'm not Gaza. Max, which club made Margaret Thatcher honorary vice president? Is it Blackburn Rovers, Grantham Town, Harrogate Town, or Peterborough Town?
Well, I think there was. I think there was more than one, but I'll go with Grantham on the basis that was where she was from.
Ooh, that was your red herring. The answer was Blackburn Rovers.
Blackburn Rovers made her an honorary vice president.
Yes, they did.
So.
I chucked Grantham in there just because.
Yeah. I was
got him.
I was wondering if like I was thinking, oh god, is Finchley going to be there because that's where she was MP for, but. When did Blackburn make her an honorary?
I have no idea why or how. Do you know? I also chucked Harrogate in there because I thought, oh, it's quite an affluent place. There's a chance they've
Yeah.
You didn't go for that one either. Right, Gareth, you've already won, but this will be the cherry on the top.
Do I not get a point for answering Margot's question correctly?
Oh, do you know what? Shall we?
Because then if Gareth gets this right, he wins anyway.
Yeah, it's jeopardy, isn't it? And it is Gareth's extreme specialist subject.
Okay.
Scarving work.
Signing shirts.
Club chairman. It doesn't get more Gareth than this.
No.
Right, so the question is, Ted Bowley is now renowned for visiting the changing room and trying to influence players, but American businessman Terry Smith bought which club in 1999, later made himself manager and relegated them out of the Football League? There was a really good documentary made on this, and it's called The American Dream, I think it's called. I've watched it on YouTube about 12 times. It's incredible viewing.
Definitely
horrific.
1999.
But
So we got relegated in '99.
I think it was that year. Yeah, I think it was that season. So it would be 99, 2000. I think it was that season.
I'm going to say.
Oh.
You're not giving Gareth multiple choice.
I haven't prepared.
You haven't done it, have you? Can you come up with 3 other clubs?
Probably not.
Think
It is an English team, so it's not Wrexham, is what I'm saying.
Chester City.
Oh my God! It's Chester City. What an arrow!
God.
Where did you pull that one from?
No idea.
That's
Did you not
incredible.
mention this to me?
I think I might have mentioned it years
to watch
ago.
it.
Yeah, possibly.
I'm just thinking.
Oh, so I'm done in with prior knowledge.
Oh, right. Can you
Yeah,
message
so-
me the answers as well next week? Oh my God.
The only
What? You win. Gareth, that is an arrow.
That's a great answer.
The only other one I was going to guess was Scarborough, because I thought they got relegated out of the league. I think they were the other team to get
That'd have been a
relegated
good
that
shout,
year.
yeah.
With the old Jimmy Glass goal for
That
Carlisle.
was incredible, wasn't it?
But Chester's a great answer. Well,
Well, it is the answer.
we'll be playing if they.
Well, we won't be playing Chester City, will we? We'll be playing the reformed.
Yeah, exactly.
No, I mean, it's still at the. Is it? It's still the same stadium. Is it still at the Diva?
I don't know. I don't know.
I'm pretty sure it is. Unless they get promoted, we'll be going to Chester.
I'm sure we'll find out.
Speaking of divas,
Hey.
I think that's pretty much it. Oh, we've got a few more things, but I think one thing I'd like to talk about is we're getting towards the end of the season. We've had a few ideas, haven't we, for post-season / pre-season specials. One idea that came to mind was doing an episode on an all-time Scunthorpe 11, which we would put to you guys, the listeners, all 7 of you, to decide. Well, actually, I know there's at least 65. I know there's at least 65 listeners.
You're talking about the poll?
I'm just saying, I know there's at least 65 people who listen to us.
No, we've done quite well.
So, yeah, we thought about doing an all-time Scunny 11. Me and Gareth taking on Marco and Max. You guys work together to come up with your all-time 11. Me and Gareth come up with ours, and then we put it to the listeners to decide who's is
Marco's
better.
got dodgy opinions. You've sold me down the river.
So, with Jonathan Fort, we will play.
I'll be honest with you, Gareth. I think we've got this in the bag.
Send help. You know when you're going to do a poll on Twitter. You can have
maybe Facebook as well.
You can have 4 options on a Twitter poll.
Yeah, but we want it to be, collaborative.
Max, we've got this.
Yeah.
Everyone likes Ramon Nunes.
No,
Everyone's like Rory Mercado.
Criteria.
Oh no! Just because you kept
Rory Watson.
Just because you kept betting, just because you kept betting on McArdle to be the first goal scorer, and then he finally did it at MK Dons.
He did a goal.
So the criteria will be performances in an iron shirt,
Okay.
consistency, league/standard, and clutch moments. What we're not talking about is who went on to be a great player after they left, or
No,
who was a
that's
great
fair.
player before.
That's fair.
it's
what they did in the Scunny show. That's fair.
Only
and
about-
it's like all time. So it could
Yeah.
be so it could be someone that like our dad saw play for
Correct.
them. That
Could be,
that
yeah.
sort of stuff.
So
Like
these
I-
guys vote the winner. The winning
and
team.
then our listeners
We need a forfeit.
/ viewers.
We need a forfeit from
Well,
them.
we've
We
got
bloody
time.
don't, Marco, because me and you are going to lose.
I think you do need.
There's a reason you've picked Gareth of a shirt signer. Mr. Light.
And you've given me Jonathan Forte's biggest fan.
No, it's Marco that's been stitched up. He's got the most hated man in Scunthorpe behind Peter Swan.
Yeah, but I'll increase our numbers with some good quality players.
Shout outs. This is the final segment. I think it might just keep us under an hour. We are the Iron Hour podcast, but we should be really loosely an hour.
The Iron 40-minute podcast doesn't have quite the same ring to it, I don't think.
Shout outs. This is to Steve Hammond's niece, Mona Lott. I don't think that's the real genuine name, but I'm going to give it anyway. She's not been happy with the recent performance, and also Stephen Cohen, his auntie, depressing. She's also not too thrilled at the moment.
I have to say, depressing. That's a good one. I like that.
I feel for her.
Shout outs to Becky, Leon, Tim, Blessed, and Marco. because I said anybody who likes the post gets a shout out, and you've had it actually. I did notice you liked something else on Facebook this week.
No,
you don't know what that's about.
Not that can be put on here.
I did notice you liked something, but Toro Loco, he asks us to give a shout out. His words, he asks us to give a shout out to David Hilton, and he pleads all fans to show unity. Damo, my best friend, says the same. Mike suggests a shout out to all the hard-working staff and volunteers at the club. Yeah,
That's much deserved.
We
What an
echo
awful
that.
season.
So he says it's been a difficult season, so thank you, and same from us guys. A big thank you to everyone who's been working behind the scenes at the club. It doesn't go unnoticed. Josh Brickcliffe asked for a shout out, and he also has a question for Max. He asks if you were ever a local youth referee, because you look familiar to one in 2016 who got assaulted in a game between Bricktown and Up Fraud.
So no, not as late as 2016.
2006.
Oh, 2006. Oh, I mean, I'd only been 13 then. So
Sorry. Do you remember getting punched?
No,
Not at the football game.
I did referee youth games, but it would have been after 2006. Because that was how I volunteered with my local club. But no, it would have been 2006. Would have been too early. Must have been some other four-eyed ginger. I'm afraid.
Matt was the reason for body cams being put into place.
Just to protect referees. I stand by my comment on Twitter earlier.
What's that?
Max Bell definitely looks like a Jobsworth referee. He stinks of it, doesn't he? Like, if you said to me, one of you guys is a referee, pick it out. I mean, he's in all day long, isn't he?
Max is just out.
Yeah, put the whistle away, boy.
It's ironically the one with the worst eyesight.
Yeah. Well, yeah. A cheeky shout out goes to Luke, who always listens from the northeast, a Gateshead fan. And hopefully, we spank South Shields for you next season. Unlikely though it is, we live in hope.
Unlikely.
Thank you for listening, Luke. We do have a few fans from other teams listen.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
That pub in Gateshead was banging.
Yes.
I have to say, the one around the corner from the ground, the Schooner.
The Schooner, yeah.
As the locals will call
That's what
it.
he's drinking.
Yeah. I'm going to nail this one. A big shout out to Will Cunningham. Easy name. I have no problems with that. It's not like I actually
Do it for a
say
job.
names
Yeah.
for a living, is it? It's not like I get paid
You
to
had
say
one job,
names.
you've got to say people's names.
That's literally what I'm known for. How do you say that, mate? Look on here. Stephen Howe asked for a shout out to the fans, except those who invaded the pitch. Steve's words. What happened on? Was there 2 pitch invasions?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we scored. They ran on.
People
You
were
can't
so
really blame it,
delirious.
can you?
I
Damn
would
it,
have
like-
been straight on the pitch after a goal. My goodness. It's not like it happens very often. But yeah, it was a bit annoying, just disrupting the game. But
Neil
there
asks-
wasn't
Who
much to
cares?
disrupt,
Yeah,
let's be
yeah,
honest.
exactly.
Neil asks for less blame on the owners, and I'd like to finish with this one. This is incredible, and this is a huge shout out from all of us here on the pod to Rob Gaffney. Not missed a home game in 27 years, COVID permitting, COVID aside. That's 669 consecutive home games. Rob, that's incredible. From all us on the pod. Awesome, dude.
In that time, Wrexham have got so many. 600.
How incredible is that?
It's
That's unreal.
incredible. Seek help, Rob. I suspect you might need it after the trauma of the last few years. But that's to not have like one childbirth, not have one wedding, not have one accident, not have one sickness. Interrupting that is effing phenomenal.
I'm saying Ben Maidment this year.
Yes.
He's been to all the games this season.
Yeah.
He's going to Dorking on Saturday, so.
And I'd just
Yeah,
like to say,
that'd be
say to both Ben and his dad, also
Yeah.
seek help. Particularly as they come up from Chapel St Lennon's for
Yes.
every home game
Yeah.
as well, so they're
Yeah,
travelling
they do.
even further.
Yeah.
Great
That is
effort, lads.
incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Wind it down.
let's do this.
A big thank you then to our sponsors Know.Film, and of course guys, a massive thank you to each and every one of you who continue to listen week in, week out and watch us. I don't know why you do it. I mean, I think you also need to seek help. But no, on a serious note, I think all 4 of us have had people come up to us at various points in the last few weeks saying thank you for doing the podcast, which we love doing it. Thank you for listening. As we've said, we are 4 guys with completely different opinions a lot of the time. We just want to talk about all things to do with football and our club. And you know what? We just want to have a bit of positivity, don't we? So thank you for listening, your continued support, and we'll bring you some post-season / pre-season specials, and we'll maybe get one more in before or after the Dorking game, should I say. But for now, up the iron.